the order on the Mac Pro. Would that work for you guys?
You can do that?
Yes, cancel it and credit all the money.
Hold on. It's contingent, okay? It's got a caveat, as they say, with the big self-helper book learning college words. A caveat. The caveat.
I don't like caviar. I'm allergic to stuff like that. I'm allergic to shellfish
it's not caviar.
Seafood.
No, that's okay. It's caveat. Here's the caveat. How about the caveat is you buy 2 of our new iPad Air Pro, and you get those engraved with the name Steve. And each one will be about $4,300. How about that instead?
That's not bad.
No, that will not work. That will not work.
Well, then I could have.
How about that instead? I'm starting to feel like I'm the only one trying to work at a resolution here. All I'm hearing from you, Steve, is a whole lot of me. You know, I'm struggling here. I'm trying to find a middle ground. You got to meet me somewhere. You expect me to just give you the $9,900?
I have an idea. I was Steve, really quick, while we've got Apple on the phone. So, Steve, what if you
What's going on?
Excuse me, Elmo. I'm coming through. I'm building something.
A telly? Wow. A telly.
Wait, I'm in the middle of something here. Oh, look it. I'm finished. Look what I built, Elmo.
Okay.
Isn't it beautiful? Look at that. Perfection. Gotta go, Elmo. Bye.
Bye, Telly. Boy, terrific triangle building, Telly.
It's the world's most well-known secret society. Rich with symbols and ritual, it's a source of legends, parodies.
Who controls the British Crown
system and the good old boy network to be able to get away with murder. And I mean murder.
Welcome to the world of Freemasonry.
How can Elmo find out more? Who could that be?
Oh, I emailed Eric Dubay today because I wanted to actually talk about that flat earth stuff. I'm not going to get into it again, but just one quick point. People were talking about they're in the spin of the rotation of the earth and how it affects the moon. Okay. People are using that as proof that the Earth is round and spinning. They don't have to do that with a plane, though?
About those who argued that the Earth was flat. And for a long period of time, people argued that the Earth was flat, even when the evidence, what is fundamentally a flat Earth caucus, argue that it just is a hoax. I mean, we have members of the United States Senate who argue that it is a hoax. But that's all they do. They make the argument that it's a hoax. Galileo is, in fact, a hoax. By which we have to do that. This is going to dictate, I mean, there's still some folks out there arguing flat Earth, policy. But that's always been true all through history. I think, and the two just are not similar.
And the rise of sea level, all that extra water is just going to spill over the sides of the flat Earth.
We have members of the United States Senate who argue that it, the 9/11 Commission. And just last week, Secretary of State Powell, only Vice President Cheney still insists that the Earth is flat.
Because in their view, the extra water is just going to spill out over the sides of a flat Earth.
And we need to make clear that those members of the Flat Earth Society
is just going to spill over the sides of a flat Earth.
The Earth was flat. The Earth was flat. The Earth was flat. The Earth was flat. Was flat. Was flat. Was flat. Was flat. Was flat. Was flat.
It's fundamentally a flat Earth caucus. Flat Earth. Earth is flat.
Who apparently belongs to the Flat Earth Sierra Club Society. capable of standing heat and stresses.
When I get out of here, that the Earth is flat.
The aluminum alloy skin of the crew compartment was about 12 thousandths of an inch thick. That's equivalent to about 3 layers of Reynolds wrap that you would use in the kitchen.
The skin on the crew cabin was very thin, and that was all done because of weight savings. Weight was a very critical item that always had to be considered in anything that you did.
If you really took your finger and poked hard at it, you could poke right through the outer skin of the spacecraft. It was about the thickness of 2 layers of aluminum foil.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Wake up, pay attention! Stop acting asleep! I'm fucking saying!
They have taken the hearts and minds of our leaders. They have recruited the rich and the powerful, and they have blinded us to the truth.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Wake up and fall in line with a new world order!
Yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us?
The elite, as I see it, are the people who run the country. That when you have that kind of divergence in that single behavior, you have part of the reason that you have an ignorance of, and oftentimes a disdain of, mainstream America by the new upper class, which is very problematic in terms of the future of the country.
The law of gravity is nonsense. No such law exists. If I think I float, and you think I float, then it happens.
Vast military buildup has been reported in the Sahara Desert, sectors 17 and 18 of the war zone. That is the end of the announcement.
The law of gravity is nonsense. No such law exists. If I think I float, and you think I float, then it happens.
We still have flat earthers. We have people that don't believe in vaccinations. And what do we do about it? Well, first of all, I think there's a gene. And I think that when we were in the forest, that gene actually helped us.
We out here on vacation in the Bahamas, another beautiful day. Check it out, check it out. Boom. I want to talk to y'all for a minute about the power of perception. You see, there's a lot that goes into being a hot social media content provider. For instance, y'all think I got time to go on vacation? No. I got social to do. Come on, man, this is blue screen. In fact, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I haven't looked like this good in years. I've been totally computer generated since like the 90s. You know what? This ain't even real blue screen. It's 2019, y'all. Nothing's real.
Because 9 times out of 10, that gene was wrong. How the power can be unleashed.
Hello, it's me. You know, indoctrination started while we were still naive. Programming our beliefs. And that inertia is the reason we don't feel the earth spinning. Hello, Can you hear me? Did you ever stop to question the confession of gravity as a theory? Funny thing, force alone can be explained with buoyancy and density. The sun is closer than what they've told us, not 90 million miles away. Hello from the inside, I'm here to tell you not to lie, and there never was a space probe, and those planets you flew so wandering stars, Operation Fishbowl. There never was a South Pole. We're surrounded by walls of ice, and we clearly live inside of a glass door. Hello, how are you? Did you get a chance to join Flat Earth and Globe discussion group to discover all the truth? How the sun, the moon, the stars are all revolving around you. There's no more secret. The earth is stationary, it is fixed, unmovable. Hello from the brighter side. They fooled you with that CGI. While sending rockets into the sea, and then faking that life ISS feed. No
look like you're in a studio, maybe in Omaha, Nebraska or something. The shot is so clear. Is this a hoax? Are you really in space still?
See the hair?
I don't know. We're going to have to do something for you.
Yeah.
I
want to do it. I know.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Watch this. Oh yeah, you are. 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 Oh yeah, you are.
A balloon, people. Okay, they're still using balloons. Above 70,000 feet, people. Here's the deal. If you can see this, this is the ISS. Okay? Here's Hubble. They claim to be the Hubble. Okay? The Hubble. They claim the Hubble is at 504. Alright, that's what they said. 500, and it's traveling at 27,000 an hour. That's what they say. Alright? That's what they say. And it's at 541 miles. The ISS, they're claiming the ISS is at 402 miles. Okay? I think it's at 402,000 feet above the surface of the Earth. That's where ISS really is. You got two NOAA satellites, one up top, one down below, near Australia, New Zealand. You got those aircraft flying off the coast. Boom, let's go get this bad boy. Let's go get this bad boy. Let's go get Tiangong. This is a Chinese satellite. They ain't gonna go snatch this bad boy. The US actually complained about Russia developing a space defense capability.
Well, it's flat. Well, it's flat. Well, it's flat.
Yes.
Yeah, and now that we have a U.S. Navy missile instructor and many other experts confirming that the Earth is a flat and motionless plane,
You're being sarcastic. That's a prank call. That's an ad hominem thing where people. There's seminar calls on that where you call in and then you say, "Oh, you're so accurate," you know, and then they add something like the Earth's flat. It's a standard tactic. It's like when when Al Gore's before Congress and they say, the truth is the Earth's been cooling for a few years, and he goes, "Yes," and you think no one went to the moon. And I'll be on national shows. They'll go, "No one went to the moon, right, Alex?" And I'm like, "No, we went to the moon." They just put out some bad PR photos because the radiation damaged the film. They doctored them. And they didn't admit it to people. Let's go to... I don't believe the Earth is flat, but if the mainstream media started saying it was round, I might question them. I mean, that's how deceptive these people are, that you really can't believe anything they say. They taint, they twist, they spin.
And I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it right now. I can't handle it anymore.
I'm a pioneer. I'm an explorer. My heart's big. It's got hot blood going through it fast.
And oh yeah, he has friends in high places.
I will not let you down. You will be very, very impressed.
A guy on the radio who apparently Trump's on his show frequently, he said, "Me and Hillary are demons." Said we smell like sulfur. Ain't that something?
A year into office, you'll be saying, "Wow, I remember that interview. He said he was going to do it, and he did a great job."
This.
I've been told this by high-up folks. They say, "Listen, Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur." I never said this because the media go crazy with it, but I've talked to people that are in protective details. I mean, they're scared of it, and they say, "Listen."
Mel says it's flat. We've been founding members of the Flat Earth Society.
Conspiracy theorists out there, how would you prove to us that you're in zero gravity?
Scientific evidence that seems to support the notion that the world is flat.
On the troops, Jacob's Ladder. That stuff that'll whack your brain permanently. Well, I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not funny.
Very, 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 very.
I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not funny.
Very, 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 very impressed. Very, 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 very.
This is one of the biggest secrets out there. Man, if Donald Trump gets elected, I really don't think I'm going to go to the White House. I don't think I'm going to go have coffee at the White House. I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not funny. It's that simple.
People are falling apart. They're totally depressed and unhappy. What is going on? Every ancient culture was obsessed with what I'm about to reveal to you.
Earth is flat, but if the mainstream media started saying it was round, I might question them. I mean, that's how deceptive these people are, that you really can't believe anything they say. They taint, they twist, they... I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not funny.
Imagine how bad she smells, man. I told her and Obama just stink.
I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not funny.
Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur.
I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not funny.
All my fans happy. Why is my shirt off? All my fans happy. Why is my shirt off?
Rotten, I want out.
Government documents. And I walk out and everybody goes, Albert. Government documents. And I walk out and everybody goes, Albert.
Here we go. What do you think people did before Alexa?
Alexa, turn the temperature down 2 degrees.
Alexei, tell us something interesting. Okay. The Earth is flat. The Earth is flat.
The Earth is flat.
Alicia, remind me to delete those tapes.
Next.
News! Get your news here!
Alex, what's today's news?
Doesn't matter. It's all fake.
Al, play that song I like.
Tell me a joke.
Here we are. All right, everybody clam up.
But I didn't pee on the moon. I peed in my pants.
What, do you want to homogenize him so he looks like any other person in a boardroom? What would that be?
They're club again. Question. You know, I envy you. I wish I could go back and do it for the first time, all over again. So yours hasn't started yet?
No, not yet. That was one of the questions I had for you.
Yeah, I gotta go. Night, Ted.
M-Day Greenbald on the Larry King.
Oh, by the way, as they say, to be a genius is to be misunderstood, not to be a genius. Just want to make that clear. Okay.
MD Greenbald on Twitter. Do you think there is a flat planet in the universe?
Let me say it louder. Let me say it louder. Work in a factory, and so you take vacations from that to get a break. You retire so you have some retirement income to not do this anymore. But suppose what it is you do is your first love.
Took over Russia. Answer, gun control. And there's a lot of people in this country want to do the same thing to us here in a kind of conspiracy, see?
You want to know what it is? What it's all about? John, chapter 9, verse 25. I haven't been to Sunday school in a long time. Whereas once I was blind, now I can see.
Good night, Nicholas.
Best of luck.
Where's the curve? Earth is flat. Earth is flat. Where's the curve? Where's the curve? Tell it. Earth is flat. Earth is flat. Where's the curve? Where's the curve? Earth is flat. Am I the only one that sees that it's a big machine?
Let me say it louder.
With the breach of 3 levees, anybody out there that wants to do anything that we can help with the setup, the way America is set up, they've given them permission to go down and shoot us. And subtle, but in even many ways more profoundly devastating. George Bush doesn't care about black people. Please call.
And people has been stepping up, do all they can to help people in New Orleans and all over.
Similar blowouts, drilling contractors and operators should develop would require a hazard analysis of the operation. Does not apply to drilling. No other OSHA standard specifically covers drilling, and no other federal regulatory body oversees the safety of onshore. Similar blowouts, drilling contractors and operators should develop or drilling operations. With
if you've ever had this feeling,
similar blowouts, drilling contractors and operators should develop.
This is unbelievable. Right there at the top, right next to news and buzz, conspiracy theories. This is
if you've ever had this feeling,
unbelievable. This is unbelievable. First, the flat earth, unbelievable, unbelievable.
It's time we find out what's real. Take the red pill and face our enslavement. But don't nobody wanna say shit. Without y'all, man, I can't do a thing and I hate it. Yo, there's gotta be a way we can change this and expose those who remain nameless. Illuminati agents, assailants with knowledge handed down from the days of the ancients. Got us living like vagrants, under surveillance while we're working for these minimum wages. Then go back to our cages, where we're late making payments on a regular basis. And just watch entertainment, where they could just rub the shit all in our faces. I'm so sick I can't take this, so I'm looking for ways to escape from the matrix. It seems death is the only option, but that doesn't mean I'm pulling out my shotgun. My body's locked up, but my mind is sovereign. I feel a little better being free of the doctrine. But the truth is a gift and a curse, something that I'm always dealing with and it hurts. Can't sleep at night and it gets on my nerves. Sometimes I wish I could live in reverse. Go back to being a kid again, eating cinnamon toast crunch, not knowing much about the world we're living in. Everything was so promising, hopes and dreams were just blossoming. Conspiracy watch wasn't on the curriculum. Instead of sitting and wishing that some of these things could be different, and always paying attention, vigilant citizen. I know you believe you're autonomous, but that's simply preposterous. I'm telling you that freedom just isn't genuine.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweigh the dangers which are cited to justify it.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
And everybody gets mad at me, but looking for the truth is so sad to see. But that's just the way that it has to be. ODDTV blasphemy. I guess your brain doesn't have the capacity to understand that freedom is a fallacy. You rather stay in the herd mentality and keep going in your false reality. Humanity is going in the wrong direction. Insanity we have down to perfection. No consciousness and a lost perception. Are we ever even gonna start reflecting? Probably not, but that's okay. We can keep living life like a masquerade. Keep living like slaves till we pass away. And our kids are the ones that'll have to pay. We'll keep on going right down the drain till we're hollow drones. We walk around like some zombies and can't get off our phones. It's got me feeling like I'm the only one all alone, and wishing there was a new place that I can call my home. But since there isn't, I'm still right here and I'm dealing with it. Getting high just to get by, cause I'm not feeling this shit. Those in charge of what's going on never will admit it. It's time we rise up and reveal the wicked.
Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise.
Is there anyone out there who still isn't clear? Okay, last time. This is your brain.
And nobody seems to notice, nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white...
I'd like to thank everybody who donated to the cause. Your contributions are greatly appreciated. However, I made a few alterations to the campaign by raising the original amount from 200,000 to $1 million because I feel like a lot of people have made a lot of valid suggestions. So I have come to the conclusion that instead of just sending one satellite or several satellites into space, I will be raising funds to try every available experiment and test, including but not limited to weather balloons, drones, blimps even, high altitude balloons, and whatever else or any type of suggestion that anybody has. So yeah, so I'll be documenting this whole process, and I'll keep everybody updated on this road to $1 million and how the funds will be used to research and come to a conclusion. Thank you all for participating. Bam.
The Earth isn't flat.
Well, I think it looks so ridiculous and impossible.
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
It's not something to say, I choose not to believe equals MC squared. You don't have that option. It is true whether or not you believe in it.
So that rocked. Seriously, was that cool or what?
They must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not have believed that the world was round. We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
If I say that the world is round and someone else says it's flat, that's worth reporting. But you might also want to report on a bunch of scientific evidence that seems to support the notion that the world is round.
The only answer was that the surface of the Earth is curved.
Wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
A little chubbier.
Yeah.
Chubby's a good way. It's like pear-shaped.
Figure out why you can't see Spain from the east coast of North America.
We're able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics. I don't recall.
I don't remember seeing any.
I have to ask you, what kind of file type, can you tell us about the image file type and compression that was used to send this very important couple of thumbnails back from Mars?
Yes, unfortunately, I absolutely cannot.
Adam, tell us about the landing.
I can't tell you too much about it.
This is called gravity.
UHF is good. Touchdown confirmed. We're safe on Mars. Time to see where our curiosity will take us.
There are great ideas undiscovered. Breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers. There are places to go. 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 There are places to go beyond belief. There are places to go.
Of dangerous radiation.
There are places to go.
We have to pass through this danger zone twice. Once up and once back.
There are places to go.
Once up and once back.
There are places to go.
Question.
Wow.
No, here's the difference.
And what you're seeing here is a mirage.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
Und in Schule? In der Schule? Ja, in der Schule in England. Natürlich, Mensch, was soll das denn?
Der Rabe. Jakob der Rabe war der frechste von allen Vögeln, die ich je gesehen habe.
Is it him? Or a very good double?
Well, that was the idea. That was the other part of it, that there was a guy who looked like you taking your place.
No, well, this is him.
Sort of little bit sleazy, little bit cabaret. I'm with the government. Maybe we'll go back to my flat. My flat.
No, it's not true.
The Earth isn't round, it's flat. How do you know? I've observed it in all my travels over Europe. It's flat. Everywhere it's flat.
I mean, we never believed all that stuff. You know, it's like Paul is dead as well. There was another rumor, you know, I didn't believe that one.
Yeah. Is it a follow-up, or are you...
Yes, that's true.
Whereas with, say, the Last Wings album, that wasn't true. You would have gone in with most of the songs ready.
Yeah. Well, that was, as I say, that's true. But most of my stuff is out of office, or the world isn't flat.
Flat. The earth ain't flat. Flat. Flat, like they say it is. Flat. Well, that's quite true. A watertight The thing argument. What I say to people is, I'm not propounding any kind of watertight theory here. It's, as I say, a watertight argument. And also, hey guys, flat freedom of speech is the other issue here. You say what you like, can't you?
People who love what we need if we get up above. Stuff, it's just sort of comes into my head and stuff, and if it pleases me. I mean, you're talking about this album saying there's not a lot of stuff that's set. They say nobody knows. And actually, the more you think about that, the more you think about all the millions of experts we have on the telly every night or everywhere telling us how to do it. And a year later, they're wrong, or they're out of office, or the world isn't flat after all, or the world isn't flat after all. He knows, and that's the way I like it, just so nobody knows. And we've called it Frozen.
But I discovered that the people who love are what we need if we get up above it all. And that's that, unless the world is flat.
Or the world isn't flat after all.
I wanna get it.
thank you, Paul. I was just like him.
All the astronauts were aboard.
Good to be here.
We're delighted to have you with us.
So good to be had.
So, Mr. Nye, you've been an advocate for science education throughout your entire career. But while you focused at the start about getting our younger generations excited about science, you now focus on reminding adults, we adults, the importance of science in our lives. And so are you surprised by that shift?
I'm not surprised that the troubling thing, let me put it this way. There are people running around today thinking that the Earth might be flat. That is pretty frustrating.
Yes. So our conference theme this year is Diverse Voices, Shared Commitment. What does that mean to you?
Well, my big thing nowadays is, speaking of space exploration, when you look at the Earth from space, we live on a ball, and yet it's a large enough movement that I'm even talking about it, that the Earth might be flat.
Well, if I could follow up with that point.
Okay. You're going to be living in a dome, and when you go outside, you're going to put on a spacesuit, which is just a smaller dome.
Certainly. So what strategies can we as international education professionals employ to better support our students focused on science study?
Everybody knows the Earth is a sphere, right? Everybody knows that. You've seen the pictures, right?
Yes.
Or a geoid, very close to a sphere, yeah.
Your organization, the Planetary Society, advocates for space education and exploration.
Science.
So why is space exploration so important for today's global citizens?
The technology that derives from space is extraordinary. We wouldn't have the internet without NASA, for example. None of this would be possible without science.
What needs to be done now? What can we do to ensure our planet's health for the next generation?
We have people in Antarctica doing very important research, but you don't go there to raise your family. There's no playgrounds with swing sets and so on. So a presidential candidate did not have a child trafficking ring in a pizza restaurant near the White House in the U.S. That didn't happen. And so this is what the Planetary Society works on.
Right.
The Earth is not flat.
Well, that was the perfect segue into my next question. You've suggested that for the U.S. to remain globally competitive, it must be open to new ideas, many of which comes from scientific research. And so how can we as educators best communicate and convey the importance of evidence-based information?
Well, first of all, as an educator, we want science every day in every grade. It's a centralized government, and I think that's priceless.
It certainly aligns with the...
Think about it globally. It's raising the standard of living of girls and women.
It is indeed.
But it's a hard thing to do. Barely. Anyway, we'd be getting it done. None of this would be possible without science.
I died 1,000 deaths. Shit gotta come to light eventually. I died 1,000 deaths. No edits, let's just do this. Ain't no. There ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. And I done checked all the maps. And I done checked all the graphs. I believe Earth's flat. And I done did all the math. And there ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. And I done checked all the maps. And I done checked all the graphs. And I believe Earth's flat. And I done did all the math. You know I love the truth. And I hate a lie. You gotta show me proof. I opened up my eyes. No, this ain't a spoof. So please be advised. Cause I see a dome roof sitting in the skies. This ain't a goof. Let me define why the earth's flat. So you can realize reality, it won't be televised. So don't be shocked Don't be surprised. There ain't no curvatures. There ain't no curvatures. These shriners been lying to you. Can I have a word with you? I see ships in the distance, and I'm losing my grip. Zooming in, bringing it back with my video clip. Coriolis bet, that's a bogus defect. If the earth had a jet stream, we'd be getting wet. The moon's a hologram, and heaven's so bizarre. And if the earth's a globe, please explain the North Star. There ain't no curvatures. There ain't no curvatures. There ain't no curvatures. There ain't no curvatures. And I done checked all the maps. And I done checked all the graphs. I believe Earth's flat. And I done did all the math. And there ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. And I done checked all the maps. And I done checked all the graphs. And I believe Earth's flat. And I done did all the math. The guinea pig of Earth. Even NASA admits the composites are fake. That ain't even a flick. And satellites don't exist. I persist, it's a myth. With a little twist, get it right, I insist. Look at the UN logo, it's a flat map. But it's globes wherever they plant their flags at. They got my head spinning, where do I begin? Mama said that they gon' put me in the loony bin. You crazy? The earth ain't a ball and it's no orbit. These science pricks are nitwits, I call them all in orbit. They say the lunar rise pulls on the ocean tide, but the lakes and rivers never move. Could you tell me why? The sun is close, his circuit's round, but no one knows. Shh. Don't make a sound. My diagnosis, yeah, tell the town. The earth is flat, no, it isn't round. There ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. And I done checked all the maps. And I done checked all the graphs. I believe Earth's flat. And I done did all the math. And there ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. And I done checked all the maps. And I done checked all the graphs. And I believe Earth's flat. And I done did all the math. No GoPro voodoo, devices of the devil. No matter how high, horizons always eye level. They never built a curved track for the railroad. Don't be fooled by mountain ridges and all these curved roads. Common sense is the key. Wouldn't you agree? Anyone could get a PhD for a flat fee. There ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. Free your mind in the land of liars and burglars. There ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. And I done checked all the maps. And I done checked all the graphs. I believe Earth's flat. And I done did all the math. And there ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. There ain't no curvature. And I done checked all the maps. And I done checked all the graphs. And I believe Earth's flat. And I done did all the math.
Hello, my name is Buzz Aldrin. 40 years ago, Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, and I made history as the first men on a mission to land on the moon. Our 8-day journey aboard Apollo 11 was one of the most watched events ever, filmed in unprecedented detail, recorded second by second. This is the story of that mission, our training, and our lives.
Space leadership. We're going to lead again. It's been a long time. It's over 25 years. And we're opening up, and we are going to be leading again like we've never led before. Buzz Aldrin, who is with us today, us on exactly what we're doing today. Thank you all. At some point in the future, we're going to look back and say, how did we do it without space? The vice closer together, wouldn't that be nice? Can you believe that space is going to do that? I thought politics would do that. Well, we'll have to rely on space instead. Sometimes you have to view things from a distance in order to see the real truth. And I could say the great and very beautiful unknown. Nothing more beautiful. Think big. Important words. Think big. We haven't been thinking so big for millions of children to carry on this proud tradition of American space leadership, and they're excited. And to never stop wondering, hoping, and dreaming about what lies beyond the stars. So I just want to...
Wolf, Colonel Alvin Drew, and the second man on the moon, the legendary Colonel Buzz Aldrin. Welcome to the White House. Leadership in space. Privilege of my life to serve as vice president to a president who gets up every day. Space again in the final frontier. Facet. Actions, we will strengthen our economy, we will unlock new opportunities, new technologies, and new sources of prosperity. We'll inspire our children to seek education in science, technology, engineering, and math. We'll enhance our common defense and advance the security of the American people, but most of all, under President Donald Trump, American leadership in space will strengthen the American spirit. America. And by your action today, us as a nation to do what Americans have always done, to lead knowledge, to blaze new trails, President Donald Trump.
In space exploration. At some point in the future, we're going to look back and say, how did we do it without space? The Vice President will serve as the hoping and dreaming about what lies beyond the stars. Here's the big question. Who's getting it?
We started the powered descent upside down with the engines and the landing gear going like this so we could look down. Then about 30,000 feet we rolled over. Were ahead of me.
Yeah.
Now my little dog was called Bow Wow.
Bow Wow?
Yeah,
Did you take your dog to space with you? Or
Well, I just did some very simple tasks, but there were 3 different successful EVAs, the long one taking the selfie, and then another one where I was going to activate the backpack, and then there was a garbage disposal EVA. We had some things that we needed to get rid of for the moon to go around the Earth. So when it's dark, it does get quite cold.
Very much. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Spacecraft have to sort of be shut down, and maybe they won't wake up after being so cold. Atmosphere, the radiation from the sun for a solar flare would be very difficult for people on the moon that you could maneuver. Apollo was so programmed, move around. Everything was very well orchestrated to be part of the total flight plan. BuzzAldrin.com. Now, if you want to send us a message, Twitter at The Real Buzz. The Real Buzz.
Is there an imposter there?
Behind the scenes. Much is based on fact. Some scenes are imagined, but they're pretty much how it was.
The following fact-based drama is based on first-person accounts, interviews, and NASA transcripts.
Now here it is, your moment of zen.
If I ever thought of saying I misrepresented myself, away from me. You're a coward and a liar and a thief. Did you get that on camera?
Well, a funny thing happened on the way to the moon. That's the title of a video that I watched on YouTube. You can see astronauts hanging from wires, proving that astronauts are natural liars. They analyze photos and highlight mistakes with the moon landing missions. They show it was fake. You can see them faking the photos of Earth. They use a round window to fake the curve. Hey, man, I'm still gonna make this too, because I know that we didn't go to the moon.
24 pilots on the moon. You're the one who said you wanted to the moon when you didn't.
Very much. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
And how about those moon rocks they gave to museums? And thousands of people did see them. But one museum took a closer look. They soon realized that something's afoot. The rock they were given turned out to be a fake. Just a piece of old wood, not a rock from space. Yeah, when God made the moon, he saw it was good, but apparently made it from petrified wood. Yeah, that's suspicious. Listen up. In another museum sits an astronaut suit. Take a good look at the tread on the boot. It doesn't match up with the prints on the moon. And y'all still believe what they're telling you? Or how about that phone call that Nixon made to the moon that's 250,000 miles away? I still believe what they're telling you? Or how about that phone call that Nixon made to the moon that's 250,000 miles away? When I can't get a signal on my cell phone line, I guess phones were better in '69. I can't get a signal on my cell phone line, I guess phones were better in '69. We can't get past low Earth orbit. Do your research, people, I think you'll find. But NASA admits that a bunch of times. Listen. Right now, we only can fly and record, that's the furthest we can go.
Astronauts to the moon. To the moon. To the moon. To the moon.
She just said a terrible thing. You know what she said? Shout it out, because I don't want to... Okay, you're not allowed to say, and I never expect to hear that from you again. She said, I never expect to hear that from you again. She said he's a pussy. That's terrible. Terrible.
Still believe what they're telling you? Or how about that phone call that Nixon made to the moon that's 250,000 miles away? When I can't get a signal on my cell phone line, I guess phones were better in '69.
Because Mr. Trump, hey, look, you claim to be like me. The difference is I work hard. You've been lazy. You've been nothing but trouble. And now you cut them off as they're fighting each other for who should be fired. Michael,
yes.
Michael.
Yes, sir.
You're fired.
Now,
A wet raccoon doesn't have $7 billion in the bank.
You look like you're in a studio, maybe in Omaha, Nebraska or something. The shot is so clear. Is this a hoax? Are you really in space still?
See the hair? 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 See the hair?
Recognize that the very molecules that make up your body, the atoms that construct the molecules, are traceable to the crucibles that were once the centers of high-mass stars.
To each other.
Only 12 men have ever walked on the moon, and an astronaut on Apollo 11. He's here with a model of Apollo 11. He was with the first pair with Neil Armstrong, of course. And Buzz, the panel remains so that they might want to pop something at him. But Buzz, what's your...
It exploded their chemically enriched guts into the galaxy.
connection with this program? What did you see?
What did I see?
Enriching pristine gas clouds.
To each other. Well, we, the first day out, maybe to each other, six to each other hours after.
With the chemistry of life.
6.
So that we're all connected.
6 launch. We're scheduled to make a mid-course launch.
To each other, biologically. To the Earth, chemically. And
6.
To the rest of the universe, atomically.
During launch, this 6 boost protective cover comes off. Hopefully not with the command module attached.
The command and service module, and it turns around like this, and it docks with the lunar module. I'm going to have to be pretty ambidextrous. Are we getting to a UFO? We're getting to that, yes. I only ask in view of time. I know, This is right? fascinating. You don't want me to be the jury of all these people, No, I do you? don't. Right.
That's kind of cool.
The rocket and the
spacecraft, the lunar module, and the rocket module and the command module are heading toward the moon. Now we orient our launch perpendicular to the plane of the sun. Perpendicular to the plane of the sun. Perpendicular to the plane of the sun. Launch the Earth and the moon and rotate slowly in the rocket like this. And we can look out these windows in the rocket and the rocket. And the rocket, I had seen the moon drift by.
What did you see?
And I saw a light out there, okay? This is after we had witnessed the upper stage rocket next to us make an evasive maneuver to miss the moon. Later missions, it crashed into
That's kind of cool.
the moon so that we could determine the seismic effect of crashing
So
into
you
the moon.
saw a light.
So we saw a light.
Effect of crashing.
So you
into the moon.
saw a light.
So we saw a light.
And we thought, wonder what that is. You know, there are a lot of lights out there when you're not looking in the direction of the sun. There are a lot of stars, and they're all fixed relative
That makes me smile.
to each other. Now, one of them starts moving, or it's moving, and we know that that's another.
Now, one of them starts moving, or
Why it didn't happen, so. Now,
was
one of them
unusual?
starts moving.
The way it happened, and if it didn't happen,
Now,
was
one of them
unusual?
starts moving.
that's not an 8-year-old's question.
That's another object. It's not a star.
Stars don't move.
Well, they move.
That makes me smile.
If we were to say, Houston, we got.
That's my question.
And they guaranteed there'd be no.
Okay, what I'm going to do,
contact.
hold it right there. You got me held. I'm going to hold Buzz. We're going to add the governor. We'll figure it all out how to do it. And close with all of them, because I'm suddenly involved in this.
Panels to 99.999. And these are 3 guys who have flown in space twice and have looked out at the stars and all sorts of things. So, belief, yes, we certainly saw something. We could see, look at it in a second. So here's one of the panels, yeah.
So that's it.
Moving, and we know.
I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and
that that's another object. It's not a star. So,
I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and
belief. So, belief. Yes, we certainly saw something. So, belief. We could see, look at it in a second. So here's one of the panels. Yeah.
I want to know, but I think I know.
we didn't.
And that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So
That's kind of cool.
So,
It's not that we are better than the universe. We're part of the universe. We're in the universe, and the universe is in us.
We're not the center of the universe.
And I actually feel quite large at the end of that.
Remember? No. Every time I hear that weasel tune, something pops inside of me. What's the idea? You're trying to ruin my business? I'm sorry. I'm a victim of circumstance. What do you think this is, a joint? I need you, too. From now on, we're a corporation. Where we going? We got a lot of training to do.
Simulation. Because of that, we at the bottom of the ladder to just hold on, and he did things, and I could see him through the window. So I knew that there wasn't going to be any trouble for me to move around.
Got a 3-footer.
astronaut, spaceship commander, spacewalker, part-time musician. I'm here today to hopefully debunk some common space fry to a crisp. Commander Chris Hadfield, in truth, it's way worse than that. Exercise 2 hours a day on a spaceship. We have a resistive machine, we have a unicycle, and we have a treadmill where elastics hold us down just to keep our bodies strong enough and our bones dense enough so when we get home, we don't just fall over like a puddle. Or some type of barbecue. That's true. It's just sort of coming from space's effect on our ship. Yeah, in truth, sides like one of those rides at the fair where you're pinned against the wall. And for now, that's actually true. We don't know how to control gravity. We have no way to control gravity. We can sort of pretend there's gravity. Shoot, he was way up. Starts at about 6 or 7 miles up. It's not all that high, but then it goes on for a long way. There's not enough air to breathe. You kind of need to have an airliner with the pressure inside to keep your body healthy if you're that high.
The more you look like a samurai, the better your chances of survival. The better your chances of survival.
For over 30 years, he's been 30 years. I almost have to look down at the page, and it's been 3 decades.
3 decades. When you're looking at it, going stretching in front of you, it's forever, isn't it? It's obviously it's very flat. You know, on that level, dolls with them in. I mean, unbelievable, really.
Yeah.
We had to tell people no. I don't like that sort of thing. The crusade of Brian's life to be this spokesman. But it's just, I mean, it's something I don't mind doing it to other people. Something, or the Brady Bunch, rock and roll. And a intensive 3-year up until then. Bearing in mind I was about 21 then. I don't know if I chose it, it's foisted on you. If you're a drummer, you can't do that. No, if it's given to you.
A key partnership.
2 months in Ireland. We've got another month in Ireland. Because it's hell. Hell is unbelievable going along with it. Here I did, yeah. Not here in the ears, but in the mind, yes. It's obviously it's very flat.
They were acutely aware of his music, but have certainly heard the stories.
Obviously it's very flat. And I've never had any problem. You know, a lot of people say, oh, God, it's just a noise, or it's difficult to understand it. I've never felt like I've never had trouble.
Any desire back then, Charlie, to say, wait a second now, it's very important that I learn to read.
Come on. Well, it's easier for me to say, well, play it through and I'll catch up with you, than read that, you know. But to them, it's just, I mean, unbelievable, really. Obviously, it's very flat. Saves a lot of worry as well. Orchestra, and we played a song called My Ship in one take. Very rarely do you experience those sort of things. You know, on that level, dolls with them in. I mean, unbelievable, really, for me.
The music comes from the Charlie Watts Quintet. It's called Warm and Tender. You know why I like this most?
The girl on the cover.
Well, not only that, yeah, your daughter's beautiful, but it also is the reason you came in to talk to us, and I know you don't do this often.
No, thank you.
Charlie Watts, it was a pleasure.
It was.
Continued success.
Thank you.
That's it for us tonight on Later. See you tomorrow night, and again, thanks for staying up. Continued success. Continued success. Continued success.
Stalagmites of intelligent origin ever came to be. Really like, we would have to go still closer. And if we really did that, we would finally come to grips with the true nature of the dominant organism on the planet.
Like flatland, and entirely flat in every direction. Looks flat enough. But if one of them, much smaller and flatter than me, takes a very long walk along what seems to be a straight line, he would uncover a great mystery. A flatlander couldn't imagine a third dimension, but he could sure deduce it. Flat in 3 dimensions. 3 dimensions. Temporaries that we were at the center of it. Then it's wrapped in on itself like a sphere. Like such closed universes as the sphere, open universes have in them as if they had made some dreadful intergalactic social blunder. An infinite amount of space.
My next guest. This is a group of social criminals. These people in the space program. Nassholes, I call them.
Have you ever looked away from Earth into the black void?
Plus a zest for experiment. That also makes sense on a flat Earth. Pretty good figuring for 2,200 years ago. In discussing the large scales and that we live, appropriately enough, in a flatland.
Earth is flat. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. The process of testing claims, the world is flat, the world is round, is what we call science.
Black void. Of the Earth that none of us has ever seen. It's flat as a board, of course.
Toward the end of the Second World War, Karl heard about the V-2 rockets that the Germans used to bomb England. That gave him some ideas, possibly others. Sagan was hoping to work with Muller on the big question, but Muller had the eager young Sagan tend his fruit flies.
Desert, with no liquid water, certainly no plants.
And with it, his hopes for the future. The young Dr. Sagan was invited to be on board.
It's a pervasive component
at Harvard.
The 21 pictures were transmitted by Mariner 4, and they raised much of the veil of secrecy.
June 1965. Sagan's speculations were finally put to the test.
Crashing asteroids and space debris. They conclude from this that there has been no water erosion on the planet.
I think it's much more reasonable if you want to speculate the Earth. There's no evidence for this. I just say that's not implausible.
For the real stuff of Cornell University snapped Sagan up as big a leap. NASA's first crafted life.
Touchdown, we have touchdown.
On July 20th, 1976, Viking 1 landed on Mars. It was the first man-made object ever to send pictures from the surface of another planet.
As natural and familiar as any landscape on Earth. Close-up of Mars ever obtained in human history. We're looking right close up.
The Mars Viking landers did not find life.
You see that letter? It looks like an English B.
And dream. For months they toiled. Karl was married, and he had a young son, Nick. But for the transcendent relationship he had always been after, Karl left them and souls into each other in 60 languages.
Shalom.
Bonjour tout le monde. Hello from the children of planet Earth.
The music of many cultures, and a kiss.
There's a kind of message in a bottle thrown into the cosmic ocean, an expression of our hopes for the future, that there will be a human community at some distant time, which will be glad we sent this message to the cosmos. Opposite of chaos, be utterly destroyed. 8.64 billion years long, 10 billion.
This one.
It is therefore possible that a full nuclear exchange would be not just an event which wipes out a few 100 million people in the Northern Hemisphere, but does significantly more serious damage.
Of someone gravely ill. Couldn't possibly be Karl.
A second blood test confirmed the terrible news. Sagan had a rare blood disorder called myelodysplasia. Without a bone marrow transplant, he would be dead in 6 months.
What's left? And without a moment's pause, Karl said, do something worthwhile.
If we had vast solar arrays that were absorbing sunlight and converting them into electricity, there is money to be made.
The tomb.
A trans and a trans.
I got it!
The Dick Show. Our soul, author, ladies and gentlemen, Dick
For socks.
Cabot.
Our final guest, I can't believe this, but he's the head of the Flat Earth Society.
Well, boy, I sure would, I'll tell you that. But he's not on the show tonight. We tried to...
Earth's so flat. Yeah, I know what you mean, Thundercracker.
This way.
As a special...
Global 33, receiving okay. Global Flight 33, 3. Flight level...
Anywhere level. Anywhere level.
What about Charlie? Nothing, sir. I can't raise them. 2100. We must be doing 3,000 knots.
Lift off, smooth. All systems go. Thank you. Thank you.
This is Global 33.
Anywhere level. Anywhere level. Anywhere level.
It's no soap. Can't raise anyone.
Anywhere level.
See, the Odyssey of Flight 33. 33, 33, 33, 33.
Anywhere level.
Either everybody out there is off whack, everybody, or we are. That crazy light, what was it?
33.
What was that shaking? Turbulence?
33.
Like a sound shock wave.
33.
It's really knocked out everything.
33.
Without radio contact, we're deaf and dumb. As long as we stay up here, we're also blind.
33.
Everybody shook up?
33.
There's no reason to panic. Pursue a life of religious fulfillment.
I guess a few prayers wouldn't be out of order either.
Pause for alarm, and I'll keep you posted. 33. This beast gulps fuel. We all know that only too well. Just wanted to know where we stand.
Tried.
33. 33. 33.
Where are all the buildings?
33.
Dinosaur sex?
33.
I know you've got your hands full, but somebody get on the pipe. I've got 3 passengers back there that are nearly hysterical. And those 2 kids back in the tourist section have half the passengers climbing the walls.
33.
This is Global 33.
What flight did you say this was?
33.
This is Global Airlines Flight 33.
Global 33.
33.
Is there anything else? But if you're really low on fuel, Global 33. You're cleared to land on runway 22.
33.
Can't land. You better let them in on it. 33. Done twice before.
A global air by anguished human beings, fearful of what they'll find.
33.
But you and I know where she is. You and I know what's happened.
33.
That would be Global 33 trying to get home.
33.
I've only got about 18 seconds to tell you that...
33.
All your passengers are highly content.
Have you ever heard of a thing called fluoridation? Fluoridation of water?
Yes, I have heard of that, Jack, yes. Yes.
Well, do you know what it is?
No. No, I don't know what it is, no.
Do you realize that fluoridation is the most monstrously conceived and dangerous communist plot we have ever had to face?
Mandrake, you realize that in addition to fluoridating water, where there are studies underway to fluoridate salt, fruit juices, soup, sugar, milk, ice cream, Mandrake, children's ice cream.
Good. You know when fluoridation first began?
No, I don't yet.
1946. 1946, Mandrake. How does that coincide with your post-war commie conspiracy? It's incredibly obvious, isn't it? A foreign substance is introduced without the knowledge of the individual, certainly without any choice. That's the way a hardcore commie works.
Part 2, Suprema. If the Earth is round, why doesn't all the water fall off? The water is held on the Earth by gravity. And get this, so is the air. Wait, there's more. Not only is the Earth gravitationally pulling on the water is ever so slightly gravitationally pulling on the Earth. Whoa! And see, this is Isaac Newton's insight. He saw the apple fall off the tree, and he realized that not only is the Earth somehow pulling the apple down, but the apple is mutually, gravitationally pulling the Earth up. Like, dude, that's so out there. I know. So we've taken it to a whole nother level. Billions and trillions. Whoa! Jerk, but also snap. Whoa! Blackbird writes, does anyone really know how gravity works? The answer is we know with extraordinary precision what gravity will do. We can land spacecraft on Mars, taking into account general and special relativity, the speed of the
spacecraft and the influence of the Earth's gravity on the rate at which we perceive time passing. We can take that into account
to have your cell phone tell you which side of the street you're standing on. We can do that. But where gravity actually comes from remains a mystery, Alicia Blackbird. You are living at a time when since last summer, we built these big interferometry gravitational observatories, and we observed the ripple of a very strong gravity wave. Time, go wild. Shay at Singer under an exciting time, go wild. Sticks to the surface. Air is a fluid. Anything that flows is a fluid. So if it sticks to the surface, then the surface is wetted. So try this. Get a flask, spin it with water in it, spin it, and you'll see the water takes on some of the spin of the glass because it's stuck to the surface. Take a ping pong ball and give it a lot of spin, either with a racket, a paddle, or your fingers. The air sticking to the surface, wetting the surface, influences its flight. But now, wax the hood of a car and put water droplets on it. They beat up. They don't wet the surface. Whoa. I'm thinking now that it's cognitive dissonance. So they have dissonance. Dismiss the evidence, and along with that, you dismiss the authorities that may have provided the evidence. Hi, Steve. Hi, Bill. This one would be named Steve. We did not descend from monkeys. Arrangement. This isn't really accurate. Bush, as we say. Have enough gravity to be a ball, and right now you got to have enough influence from other stuff that the sky will no longer be blue. It's not good. Electrons are moving from atom to atom, and this produces this magnetic field, and this tendency is so strong that magnets stay magnetic for centuries. It would suck, okay? I was in class when Professor Carl Sagan talked about, we believe the Earth is flat. I'm stumped, Callie. I don't know how people believe that. We have classroom globes. We have spacecraft that take pictures. We have classroom globes. We have spacecraft that take pictures. You can find documents from medieval time.
I'm doing great. First of all, we're so thrilled that you're talking to us right now from space. I'm kind of geeking out.
We've actually been to the moon, for example, and looked back at the Earth. It's actually a sphere.
So it's not actually a sphere. It's like pear-shaped.
Okay, the Earth. The shape of the Earth.
It's true. The Earth is flat. It's a square.
What are you talking about?
The Earth is flat.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's
yes,
not.
It is.
No,
listen.
It's not.
Flat. The Earth is flat.
We've seen the Earth. You've seen it from satellite imagery.
Flat. The Earth is flat. So you mean to tell me that China is under us? The Earth is flat.
If you dug straight through your backyard, you could get to China.
No, you can't. The Earth is flat.
The world is not
flat. It's a square.
We've seen the Earth.
No, we haven't seen anything.
The shape of the Earth.
It's a square. I'm just saying, when I drive from Florida to New York, flat. New York to Seattle, flat.
It's not flat.
Seattle down to LA, flat. LA back in front of. The Earth is flat. It's true. The Earth is flat. Flat. It's a square.
Now, of course, I'm being silly. We've actually been to the moon, for example, and looked back at the Earth. It's actually a sphere.
So it's not actually a sphere.
It's like pear-shaped.
Tear him down. What are you so afraid of? What have you got to lose? He wasn't selling anything. He didn't want anything from anybody. He wanted nothing from nobody. Nothing. Nothing. And you people have to tear him down so you can sleep better tonight? So you can prove that the world is flat and sleep better tonight? Am I right?
Unless the world is flat.
Open your eyes and look to the sky, son.
Like, is the Earth flat? Like, I think if we are just suddenly saying, like, we believe this to be true,
because it looks so
I
fake,
think most people think it's flat.
Now, here's something else that's
We about to flat smack. Globus, get your backpack. I'm with my flat pack. Globes in the trash sack. As a mutual equidistant map up on my snapback. Flat smack. Everybody.
Edge of the flat Earth. I guess anything.
The Earth is flat.
The schoolroom globes.
Think about it. Seeing the pictures, right? Flat.
The Earth is flat.
Sorry. You can tell it's real because it looks so fake.
The flat Earth. I guess anything's possible, Jerry.
And you can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
Yeah, look, the three Templar V's here. You know, there's a little one, a bigger one, a middle one, you know, for Isis, Horus, and Seth. Chemist bits. Coal. So I'm here.
This body of water. Alex Keaton, Harding High.
The body...
To the camera.
The body of water. Small world, isn't it?
Round two.
We'd have way better CGI if it was fake.
Publicity on it now.
Yeah, but this is a major news story. The public has a right to know.
Not in this case. Alex, let me tell you something. If Dr. Schulde believes that the world is flat, which he does, by the way,
And a friend of mine,
then the world is flat. Do you understand what I'm saying?
you know.
So shit. Just what kind of things do you want us to print?
Well, that story about the sweatsuits was interesting.
If it was fake. And if you look closely, on the dashboard, there's a tiny roadster with a tiny spaceman.
I hear a lot of the time, be careful, young brother. Be careful, Bob. Be safe. You know, hey man, be careful, man. They gonna get you, man. How can you talk about all this stuff, man? Let me tell y'all something. I don't think you understand. This is an illusion. They don't give a fuck how many conspiracies you talk about. They don't care if you riot in the street. They don't care if you riot on Instagram. They don't give a fuck. They're here to program your subconscious mind. How do you program the subconscious mind? Trauma, repetition, symbols. Those are the 3 ways to program the subconscious mind. And from there, the subconscious mind simply produces what it thinks is real. So what do you think is real, my brother? What do you think is real? All of the ancient texts talk about this. They say the world is an illusion, and you think it's a metaphor. Don't get rocked to sleep.
What is the ancient art of Kemet? Kemet, whatever y'all niggas like, whichever y'all prefer. What's the ancient art? Alchemy.
Top of the week to y'all. The English language is full of curses and spells, hence why we learn how to write in cursive and how to spell in grade school. Each week we awake in the morning to go to our jobs on the weekdays to earn a living. The translation of that, trance, T-R-A-N-C-E, awake is a funeral for the dead. Mourning is what you do when you lose a loved one. You have to be in a weekdays to earn a living, since earn is the ashes, since earn are ashes for the dead, and job is Hebrew for persecution. And at the end of this, we get the weekend of the deal, and we're weakened. So, happy Monday. Top of the week to y'all. The English language is full of curses and spells, hence why we learn how to write in cursive and how to spell in grade school. Each week we awake in the morning to go to our jobs on the weekdays to earn a living. The translation of that, trance, T-R-A-N-C-E, awake is a funeral for the dead. Mourning is what you do when you lose a loved one. You have to be in a weekdays to earn a living, since earn is the ashes, since earn are ashes for the dead, and job is Hebrew for persecution. And at the end of this, we get the weekend of the deal, and we're weakened. So, happy Monday.
So I've been doing my research on vaccines and vaccinations and such. So I decided, you know, let me go to the CDC website and see what they have to say about vaccines. I went to the frequently asked questions, and it says, you know, children should not get MMRV vaccine if they have ever had a life-threatening allergic reaction to a previous dose of MMRV vaccine, or to either MMR or varicella vaccine. You should also not get the vaccine if you've ever had a life-threatening allergic reaction to any component of the vaccine, including gelatin or the antibiotic neomycin. So let's look up how healthy and safe neomycin is. In 2005 to 2006, neomycin was the 5th most prevalent allergen in patch test results. Neomycin, like other aminoglycosides, has been shown to be autotoxic, causing tinnitus, hearing loss, and vestibular problems in patients. So, I don't know, man. That's up to y'all. It's your children. About 2 years ago, I did an experiment to see if there was any truth to what's called Microplasma laboratorium, I guess, but it's better known as Morgellons. I went and got a microscope, the most powerful microscope commercially available to buy, and I got raw cranberry juice. You have to get raw cranberry juice, not ocean spray or nothing that's, processed, and you gargle it in your
point. The psychosis is what is real, and I think somebody like Eddie Bravo has just gone to the other extreme, where I'm like, hey, I'll hire a ship. We'll go find that the Earth, that the Earth is round. Yeah. And at a certain, and he just says, oh no, it's flat. I'm not going to look into it. Well, at a certain point, it's kind of like gone,
No, I want to learn about global inflation.
But cousin, now listen, you inflate a globe the same way you inflate a basketball. Just make sure there's a needle at the end of your pump.
It's the ABC Perfectly Strange Saturday morning preview.
Cartoons? On a Friday night?
That's why they call it Perfectly Strange.
Well, the Earth goes around, and when it turns a certain amount, the sun shows on the horizon.
Why?
I don't know.
Why? Why don't you know, Papa?
When? Skylar, I could have said the world was flat.
You know what I think? I think you accidentally told the truth.
So it's not actually a sphere.
A little chubbier.
A little chubbier.
Yeah.
The destruction of human freedom. It has one iron rule. Logic is an enemy and truth is a menace. Truth is a menace.
Our own methods of communication are mental rather than verbal.
I think Einstein, in an Einsteinian answer, we would say gravity is the curvature of space and time. Einsteinian answer. We would say gravity is the curvature of space and time. And objects will follow the curvature of space-time, and I can also we also say that Einstein noted that matter tells space how to curve, space tells matter how to move.
Say that again.
I've been discussing time and warping time and time-space.
We destroyed that technology. We destroyed that technology.
It's a painful process.
A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind.
Pretty much my favorite thing. But in space...
That you cannot destroy truth. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind.
Is the most enjoyable, if sometimes gruesome, entertainment.
Now, this is basically a movie with two people in it,
right,
apart from the real nice supporting performances by people like Richard Farnsworth, and they're both good. And I think there was a trap here in that both of them...
A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind.
Career. Person. It's a very nice, even-keel performance on his part.
So often, and this is his way of extending that a little further.
Fearful of what they'll find. 33. But you and I know where she is. You and I know what's happened. 33. That would be Global 33 trying to get home. 33.
I've only got about 18 seconds to tell you that
33.
Now, what does this look like? What does this remind you of for those that watched my previous videos with you?
I kissed her and she
How they do it. They showed before.
Like the fella once said,
there's your ball earth. There is the flat earth model. Now with Catwoman.
The room was completely
there
black.
Is your flat earth model once again.
Her and she hugged back.
Now with Bam Margera's Ning Hags.
Ain't that a hole in the boat?
While this teacher is speaking.
I'm doing great. First of all, we're so thrilled that you're talking to us right now from space. I'm kind of geeking out.
You do your best to take pictures of it. It's just flat gorgeous to see.
Flat.
They say. So here we are to prove once and for all. We are to prove once and for all
flat.
That we here on The Tonight Show are not members of the cultural elite.
I'm going to tell you a secret. The truth of the matter is, Jay talked to me backstage. You had a conversation with me
backstage.
and asked me not to talk about.
I don't even think the world is round. What do you think of that?
Is that true, Jay? Is that true?
No.
You are old school.
It's flat. I'm telling
Is that true, Jay? Is that true?
Time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
It doesn't appear that the world is flat. I'm telling you.
Flat.
Government sort of stepping in all the time, ruining what I consider to be
flat.
I had to keep editing lots of bits that I did.
Flat.
Aerosol injections.
I can't.
You got something.
They do.
World is flat.
Flat.
For a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
I don't believe
they have absolutely nothing on the ball.
But if the mainstream media started saying it was round, I might question them.
They have absolutely nothing on the ball. Absolutely nothing on the ball.
Here, this will take you back. Chocolate.
Or they're out of office. Or the world isn't flat.
Flat.
The earth ain't flat.
Flat.
No longer on the ball.
Flat.
See the world spinning round.
Flat. Flat.
Is flat wrong.
Flat.
Also, flat wrong. They said so publicly. It's flat wrong. I just came back from a meeting. It's flat wrong. Also, flat wrong. They said so publicly. It's flat wrong. I just came back from a meeting and
flat.
I've asked you here in the sky to discuss a very important topic.
Flat. Flat
and stuff to the Earth. Big hole in the sky. Because if the world's going to get over
flat,
like they say it is,
flat.
well, that's quite true.
A watertight
the thing
argument.
what I say to people is, I'm not propounding any kind of watertight theory here. It's, as I say, a watertight argument. And also, hey guys, freedom of speech is the other issue here. You say what you like, can't you? Gorbachev stinks.
Flat. Flat.
I love this movie. I couldn't be happier.
See the world spinning
round. A labor of love.
Flat.
But I discovered that the people who love are what we need if we get up above.
Where is the curvature?
Woman, the traditional raccoon salute. Now?
People say I talk about some weird stuff.
They're twinsies?
Campaign about the email investigation.
Is always level. Still water is always level.
Actually possible that the world is flat.
Still water is always level. Still water is always level. Still water is always level.
Wouldn't have much, and you love mud.
Still water.
Actually possible that the world is flat.
Is always level. Still water is always level.
Actually possible that the world is flat.
Still water is always level.
Just fine, Charlie Brown. Those pictures from NASA that our teacher got us, those really help.
Oh my God, who said he's gonna go to Florida?
Don't think you can pull the wood over my eyes. Daddy, I see you.
Next guest.
Next month. Ladies and gentlemen.
My next guest. Ridiculous rumor. The moon landing was not faked. See, everybody, there is no...
I wouldn't say that, but I was the first person to pee in his pants.
These Masons love...
I think there were 3 of us. 3 of us. A lot of people. Love.
Unless the world is flat.
Open your eyes and look to the sky, son. The proof is there, it's in the horizon. The truth is bare, it's got no disguise on. The earth is flat, everyone's been lying. Open your eyes and look to the sky, son. The proof is there, it's in the horizon. The truth is bare, it's got no disguise on. The earth is flat, everyone's been lying. I'm dropping truth bombs, that's my game. Not around the world, but across the plane. The earth is flat, yeah, that's the idea. It's flat like a box that you get from IKEA.
Let's just keep that going to be, okay? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
Well, the earth is flat and Beyonce is white.
Yes, okay.
I know how we're different. Do you believe the earth is flat?
I know it's flat. I walk on it.
Holy shit, stick in a 1982 Pontiac Grand Am.
Station in Antarctica worth it. It's amazing. Truly gorgeous to see that big blue marble.
And hashtag flat earth.
I'm not being grouchy. I just want to finish my work.
Who's gonna do it? You? You, Lieutenant Weinberg?
What? 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 It's the temp.
Don't worry about it. You don't need to, man. I'm stuck.
Did you hack NASA when you were 13?
Well, because that was the agreement we made.
You and?
Me and the people I agreed with.
Its paradigms will of course naturally be drawn back in time. We'll be staying here, in this domain, after the event, directing our own lives in movies, and hopefully moving on to the next stage of this experience, learning and growth.
Space is a war-fighting domain, just like the land, air, and sea.
Wasn't monkeys? Elon Musk's convertible? I mean, why don't you just build a space wall while we're at it? Of course, you have to make it, all around, so I guess it would be more of a space sphere, like a moon. Like a moon. An opponent.
Very soon we're going to Mars.
Like a moon.
Sleepover high on M&Ms. Let's play Space Force, and the Martians are going to pay for it.
Like a moon.
And here is the reverse angle that shows his border wall. But obviously, if you build the wall high enough...
now that, in fact, President Trump and the South Korean President Moon Jae-in are walking down now.
Live to the DMZ, the US President Donald Trump is expecting to meet now with the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un on the border.
I say we give NASA one, we close them up. Wow, I didn't know they had an ice cream scooper in the 1700s. That's what's happening now. There's one guy in Pasadena at the controls. I'm on Mars, this is awesome.
operated from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory here in Pasadena. They tracked it in several places on the Earth, such as Australia, over here.
Wait a minute. Your Earth is flat.
Yes, that's because the Earth is flat.
The Earth is not flat. The Earth is round.
Round?
Yes.
You could slide right off.
No, remember gravity.
Yes, of course.
Gravity.
I've been so busy in Voyager, I forget that the Earth is. I'll have to get rid of this, yes.
But, in fact, that is where we're living now, where propaganda is more important than facts.
Where is the curvature? Where?
With the firmament.
The curvature. Where is the curvature?
With the firmament. Far more important. With the firmament. And that is a huge news story now. People have understood with the firmament, the truth, facts, philosophy, knowledge, history, education, none of these things are important.
But I'll tell you how I feel about school, Jerry. It's a waste of time.
In order to retain a position of power, you need to be really good at propaganda, and you need to be really good at telling big lies often and loud. And the last thing that you want in the mainstream media is anybody with the firmament, shining actual real light on anything. With the firmament. So people who actually care with the firmament.
Home is flat.
With the firmament.
Don't be surprised when
molecules. We call this stuff between the stars. And even though this stuff is...
Ask an astronomer.
I mean, there'd be about 50 quintillion balls crammed into this room. We don't mean that there are no balls. Like on Earth would have about 1,000 balls in this auditorium. There would only be one ball in this entire room. It's big. There's 100 centimeters in 1 meter and 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. And 1 light year is about 10 trillion kilometers. Farther away than that, the star Betelgeuse, for infrared Cirrus, so to speak. It's one of the main advantages of using the Spitzer Space Telescope. Thaler of the Spitzer Science Center.
I want to tell you the best story that I have ever heard. And the answer is yes. It's changed the way I view absolutely everything. I'm going to tell you that story because I responded to the story. And as I said, my favorite story is start that story with the word galaxy. Galaxy is a galaxy. I don't think people understand what monsters these really are. About 6 trillion miles.
So you think he has a bigger problem?
I think he's got a huge problem.
This galaxy is so huge.
Huge heroin problem.
It's 100,000 light years from end to end. 100,000 times 6 trillion miles. And we live in a galaxy very much like this called the Milky Way. And in fact, the sun is spinning around the center of the Milky Way right now. All the stars in the galaxy orbit around the sun.
200 million years.
Mass. Huge. It's going to take us about 250 million years to make one transit. Mass. Times, because I try to connect with people too strongly and too quickly. I feel like I don't have enough time. Mass. Out there. I let this story change me. How's it going to change you? Thank you. The universe. The sun could fit 1 million Earths inside it. Mass. Want to imagine yourself as a Jedi Knight or as an Elizabethan dancer. Mass. Occasionally we get hired out to be extras in a film if they're doing mass. Light that you're catching in your eye tonight left when Queen Elizabeth was on the throne.
The Queen is coming for tea.
Mass. With me my whole life, and I hope I'll be dancing with them for a long time. Mass.
The path went through the atmosphere so large that now you can see it.
Mass. The Earth is flat. 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 Mass. The mast of the boat. The Earth is flat. The Earth is flat. If the Earth were flat, the Earth is flat. The Earth is flat. Getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller.
Well, new this morning, all our lives we've been taught that there's little doubt that the Earth is round, of course. We've seen the images from space, but not everyone's really convinced.
There's a whole group of people who are not convinced. Denver 7's Nicole Brady joins us live this morning. And Nicole, a conference dedicated to people who think the Earth is flat kicks off today. It is happening in Denver. The Flat Earth International 2018 conference is today and tomorrow. And in case you're not familiar with this group, there are some variations in what flat earthers believe, but some common themes are the Earth is not a sphere, as you said. Other bodies out there are, though. It's not moving. We are not spinning on an axis or revolving around anything. And they don't really believe in space or anything we've observed from space. Some flat earthers are biblical literalists, believing the Earth and everything we see when we look up in the sky exists in sort of a dome. More than 600 people in all to attend, though.
600. There's a discussion about the whole issue.
There will be some debate, yes.
Okay, thank you. Next 3 hours, Denver Mayor Hancock will... And happening today, hundreds of people who think the world is flat